still recording.
Thank you for starting the podcast off by saying that, Joel, right when we went live. The first thing everyone's going to hear is, I'm still recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Casual Shenanigans, episode 25. Podcast all about PC gaming and crap. You know the drill. Hi. I'm one of your hosts, Jeremiah or Germ Gaming. I'm joined by Dave.
Hey, folks. I am Dave, the not-so-evil Viking 13.
Dave, where are you joining us from this evening?
I am currently joining you guys from Joel's house, where I am being held against my will, fed chili,
and what are you on? How are you talking to us tonight? How are you talking to us?
I'm hearing two feeds here, sorry. I'm being forced to work on Joel's computer against my will.
Which is
It's a beast.
Oh, no, yeah. The computer that Joel's having built is a beast. We'll talk about that later. I mean, what are you recording on right now?
Oh, I'm recording on a MacBook, and I just hit Control-C for copy like 3 times in a row instead of Command-C.
Is there a control button? I thought it was just Alt.
The MacBook has a function key as well as a control key.
Oh.
So that's extra fun for me.
I thought function replaced control and there was still Alt. I don't know. Anyway.
It has all the things.
So anyway, we're also joined by Joel.
Hey, guys.
And we have lots of
I just heard
news.
that behind me. That is terrifying.
We have lots of news for tonight, so we'll just start at the top. And we have tons of topics to go through. So, GTA 5 might be enjoying record success, like the biggest records of anything ever success. But the launch of GTA Online has not gone that well. It went online 2 weeks after the game released. The servers for online have been swamped since the servers rolled out earlier this week, and Rockstar has confirmed that they are buying and installing servers as fast as $1 billion of revenue will allow them. The question I have is, when will a AAA game publisher realize that lots of people are going to play their game on release day and actually prepare for it? Like, honestly, how did Rockstar not figure, hey, do you think a lot of people are going to play Grand Theft Auto 5 when it comes out? I mean, we might get a couple, but, it's only like one of the most successful game franchises of all time.
Did no one learn from SimCity?
Oh, okay, so we'll just jump right to the SimCity story. Maxis has created a team to explore the possibility of an offline mode. Officially. They say the cities will never get any bigger, though. They definitely said that. But offline mode is maybe a possibility. What I find funny is they're exploring the possibility of an offline mode, but we already know it's possible because people have done it.
Not officially.
Yeah, you can't save your game, but that's all you have to do is be authenticated to save, and that's it. Everything else works. So I guess it's probably like an intern is exploring the possibility.
They're saving it for Sims 2. That'll be the big feature. Bigger cities offline.
EA wouldn't do that.
As far as bigger cities go, I read some tech reports, some breakdowns that actually their agent-based system in the Glassbox engine is already averaging things out so much that they average things out with like a larger city anymore. The simulation just like goes wild. And like there's more and more errors that get introduced into the simulation. And seeing the core gameplay is already broken, adding more errors to the simulation with a bigger city is like the worst thing they could possibly do. So I'm really not surprised that we're not getting bigger cities.
Yeah, so I'm glad to see you finally come around. You wanted to not defend it, but like you were very diplomatic the first week it was out. Now you're like, yeah, it's broken.
Yeah, when they kind of lied about the cloud computing thing, that kind of annoyed me. Like there was so much talk about like, well, you have to be connected because it's like computing all these things in the cloud, and all of that was just like hot air.
Yeah,
that kind of bugged me.
Yeah. So they're exploring that. Stay tuned. Don't worry, we will report when we know something. XI3. Have you guys heard of the boutique PC manufacturer XI3?
I have not.
Nope.
Okay.
Neither.
XI3 is releasing the Piston Steam Box on November 29th. The modular PC.
Oh, I have heard of that.
Yeah, it's about the size of a grapefruit if grapefruits were cubes, and this analogy is terrible. The Piston Steam Box is not an official Steam machine, despite 2/3 of the words in the title directly referring to Valve properties. It is equipped with a 3.2 gigahertz quad-core AMD APU, so that's graphics and the processor integrated onto the same die. 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigabyte SSD with a second slot to expand with another 2.5-inch drive. HDMI, DisplayPort, Ethernet, 12 USB ports.
Holy crap!
This thing is the size of a grapefruit.
I would use all of those USB ports.
Exactly. Half the back of it is USB. And it has audio ports too. It looks like a promising home theater PC or a mini gaming PC, like a Steam box. But it's $1,000. And for $1,000, you can do a lot better than an AMD APU, because the best AMD APU is like $130. They're really good for what they are. They're designed for like really cheap computers to have okay graphics performance. So they're not designed to be enthusiast gaming parts. They're designed to like take up the same segment.
I guess you're paying for the grapefruit size. For the grapefruit size.
Well, they're designed to take up the same market that uses like the integrated Intel HD 4000 graphics or whatever. Like that's what they're designed for, is that crowd. So it's, it looks like it could be interesting, but $1,000 is a lot, especially.
It's pretty steep.
Steam or Valve, they've released the specs of the beta participants, like what they're going to be getting in their Steam boxes, and these are way tougher than I was predicting, or what I was thinking these computers were going to be. Have you guys seen this yet?
Yeah, I have. I told Dave about it.
Some of the PCs are getting Titans, some GTX 780s, some GTX 760s, and some GTX 660s. So even a GTX 660 is not a bad GPU at all.
No,
like, that's still a really good part. So that's really impressive. Some of them will have i7 4770s or i5 4570s, and some will get i3s. Again, pretty impressive. 16 gigs of RAM for the CPU and 3 gigs of RAM for the GPU. So, Joel, 16 gigs of RAM. Valve thinks this is the way to go for the future. Joel was talking to me just the other day.
I was just going to start out with 8 and I'll get some more. I bought too many dang things for my film already. Just shut the crap up.
This is what Joel, this is what Joel was telling me. Joel was like, well, why would you ever need more than 8 gigs of RAM? Do you have more than one program open at the same time? And I was like, yes.
No, I said I don't keep 1,000 open like you do. Like
I don't keep 1,000, but when I'm working, I keep all the programs I need open at the same time. Like I feel like
I keep like if I have iTunes playing music, then I edit and that's it. I don't keep like a game on.
See,
After
what
Effects,
I believe
Adobe
is if
Premiere,
my computer, I should be able
Photoshop,
to do anything
Illustrator, 17,000 tabs in Chrome and Firefox. No, I don't do that.
That's me.
I feel like I should be able to do anything I want, and if my computer slows me down at all, it's time to upgrade. That's how I feel.
No, that just means you go, I have 16 gigs of RAM. I better fill them all up with something I don't really need.
You know how good Adobe is when you tell it can have 10 gigs all to itself? It is buttery smooth. Anyway,
I think you're like sitting at home with like a gallon of ice cream. Like, well, I can eat a half gallon, but I could stuff myself for a whole gallon since I bought a whole gallon of ice cream. I better use it all. All the beatus.
All the RAM beatus.
If you're gonna do it right. I actually almost bought 32 gigs when I last upgraded because it was still cheaper then.
Also, guys, welcome to the food podcast tonight, where we're all starving and stuffing our faces.
Yeah,
Dave and I are eating chili. What are you eating, Skinner?
It's okay. I'm eating pizza.
What kind of pizza? Come on, give me some details. I need to live vicariously through your
give me some
pizza.
deets.
Well, it's a low carb pizza because I eat low carb, so it's got a low carb tortilla
And you lost me.
with sauce and cheese and peppers and hamburger.
Ooh, peppers and hamburger. Actually,
hamburger.
that sounds
That sounds really
delicious.
Yeah. Casual
Share.
Shenanigans.
I'm even more hungry. I'm eating chili, and now I'm more hungry after that description of your pizza.
Origin PC and NVIDIA have teamed up to deliver 4K ready gaming desktops. These are titled Battle Boxes. A system that qualifies as a battle box is supposed to be capable of playing modern games at 4K Ultra HD resolution.
And what, medium or ultra? So what's the point?
Well, here's the thing. The default GPU is a GTX 780, which is a good GPU, but this is feeling a little bit like the Vista capable sticker that was slapped on a bunch of laptops that could theoretically run Vista, but actually couldn't.
See, that would probably be 4K for something like Tomb Raider, because that was a really, really well-made game. Like, it ran, it ran it high on my computer, so...
No, I think you probably need a Titan 4K. I mean, that's so many pixels. If you want to run everything on Ultra at over 30 frames per second, I think a GTX 780 is not going to cut it.
I'd wager differently.
It would be close either way.
And the battle boxes start at $2,800, which for that money you should be able to get better than a GTX 780, in my opinion.
Well, can games even support that? I mean, what games even support that? I know
4K? A lot of PC games.
I know Batman Origins.
Yeah, they'll scale up.
I mean, they'll scale up, so that's not completely supported. I mean, that's just scaling. So it's
Well, I mean,
what Xbox does. So.
More of the new ones will.
big
Like I think most new games do.
I know.
how it works, Joel,
Batman
is-
Origins does.
For 4000K, what would happen is the game itself could render at that resolution, but the UI would be lower res still. So it's kind of like an in between.
Some of the textures wouldn't be correct either. They would be lower.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. If you have a 4000K resolution, some of the in-game textures would be smaller than your screen resolution.
Yeah.
But I mean, everything's going to be moving towards it. So, since the next generation of consoles might get up to 1080 on some things, I imagine they'll start making textures much higher res than that. Okay, I get to make fun of them a little bit. They were bragging about the 1080p gaming's finally here, and then already like half the launch games are like, yeah. As it turns out, we're going to need to knock that down to 720 again.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, a lot of them are down to 720. You didn't know that, Dave?
No, I hadn't heard that already, huh?
BF4
So
is...
it's going to be 720 and 60 then, right?
Yeah.
60
So,
FPS.
okay, here's a good one. Assassin's Creed 4 will feature a mission rating system that lets players rate story missions in an effort to improve future Assassin's Creed games. This is like after you finish a mission, you can give it a rating. In the game.
No, do a survey after the game or something. Don't do it in the game.
They want to find out what types of missions you like. Denying that this relegates Assassin's Creed 4 to being a glorified beta test for Assassin's Creed 5, Ubisoft are confident that players won't care about the immersion breaking feature and actually use it. Yeah, right.
The thing I really hope doesn't happen, because this is like completely broken for me for 3. In Assassin's Creed 3, as you're playing the game, dude, it freaks me out. Your camera like zooms right in your face. It's just like, hey guys. No, Assassin's Creed 3, as you're playing the game, it would show a little UI at the top left or top right. It would show you like, okay, if you're on a story mission, like you're gonna go super stealth, right? You don't have to kill anyone, right? Well, a lot of those are really, really hard that you can only do pretty much on your second run or third run to figure it out, right? So the very first run, all you see as you're playing through the game and you think you're doing good is X, and it makes this goosh, goosh, like you failed, and you like feel bad. And by seeing those, it makes you feel like you have to do those, and I hated it so much.
And that's like while you're in the middle of a mission?
Yeah, I'm like, I just want to run over here and stab the guy however I want to, not like have to go over here, stay in the bushes and stuff. So as I'm playing it, I usually would ruin the little quest, the little items. So I would go run really quick and then like make everyone alerted right away. So it would just fail the mission. That UI would go away, and I can join the mission.
Well, I like the way GTA does it.
So dumb.
I like the way GTA does it, where like they tell you after a mission. Yeah, so you're like, oh, okay, I could go back and replay this. I haven't yet.
Yeah,
but you could. But yeah, I think that's a really stupid idea, and Ubisoft is definitely Assassin's Creed is their Call of Duty. And
yeah, it is now, absolutely.
We will see how long it makes it.
1, 2, all of them up to 3 was amazing. 3 just sucked so bad, but 4 really does actually look like it's going to return to form and be good. But hopefully, just that UI crap doesn't. We'll see.
Sorry,
are we all chewing here?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not chewing. I'll keep talking. What's next? What's next on your list?
Okay, we eat and Joel talks.
I wanted to talk about what do you guys think the prices are going to be for the Steam boxes if they come out? Like,
one with an i3, a GTX
low, medium, high. That's what I'm guessing they're going to have.
I'm betting
medium, and high.
I'm betting that the cheapest one, they're going to do the good, better, best configuration. I'm betting the cheapest one will be an i3 with integrated graphics, and that's really just the streaming machine.
Yeah,
I'm going to call 400 on that.
Oh, no, I think less.
I bet way cheaper. I'd say
I think i3 is going to be like 250 tops.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, with the GTX 660, and I'm assuming the i5, I'm going to say like 800 or 900. And then probably...
I think you're overshooting these, actually.
You think so?
Yeah. This is just my opinion. Just because Joel was talking about, he thinks that Valve's going to subsidize the cost of the hardware with the future market share for the games.
That's true. They
might sell it like a slight loss. Because the potential here is amazing. I've already seen some Best Buys setting up Steam-like setups in their store with just normal PCs, like, gaming traditional desktops, where once the Steam boxes start coming out, they just add them to the display and increase the size. Like, they're already selling Steam games in Best Buys.
That's pretty cool.
It's happening.
Yeah, I think like the most expensive one will be like $1,000 or something like that. Like you're buying
not a Titan. You're not going to get a Titan and an i5 4770 for $1,000.
I think they're gonna have a hard time selling their prepackaged computers for anything more than
If they sell that
maybe
build for
$1,200
$1,000, those things are going to fly off the shelves.
Exactly. Well, I just don't. I think if they sell for $2,000, people are gonna be like, "I'll just build my own custom one." Why do
Now,
that?
I wonder, with the Steam machine, are you going to be able to install Windows on it if you wanted to?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think they'll be just PCs, but I think if you buy them pre-configured, it'll come just straight with the Steam OS.
Right. It'd be cool if you could dual boot.
That would be pretty cool. Yeah.
You
I know
can.
you'll be able to do that on your regular desktop. I'm hoping the ones you buy from them won't have any sort of, because when you make like a custom PC to sell, a lot of times they strip out BIOS features and things off the motherboard and stuff just to save money. So
Yeah.
Do you see the agreement, Jeremiah, for the actual hardware? Like in the FAQ, it was saying, like, can you take it apart? Can you add things? Can you I
know they said you could do all that.
It's like, go crazy. So I would imagine it'll be just completely open. It sounds like
we've yet
Valve
to
to
see
me.
exactly how that's going to play out, but it would be a very Valve move to do to make it open. So I hope
yeah.
so. So interesting more news about Valve. John Gibson from Tripwire Interactive, developers of Red Orchestra, says that SteamOS, Steam Machines, and the Steam controller will be the best thing to happen to PC gaming since digital distribution. They have ported 3 of their games to run on Linux already, and all new games from them will support Linux and the controller support. Gearbox Software's Randy Pitchford believes that the market will not be affected by any of these things, and they aren't that significant. He says that Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo will watch Valve with curiosity, tiny little Valve sitting over in their corner of the world with their monster profitability and, total market domination. He doesn't believe the market will be affected for at least a few years, so we'll see. 2 very different viewpoints there.
All they have to do is release Half-Life 3 next year on Steambox.
That's the kind of thing that you say right before you're proven horribly, horribly wrong.
Possibly. Origin PC, the same people making those battle boxes, by the way, they are AMD only now. They have decided... NVIDIA only. They have decided that AMD GPUs, they say, are too much trouble, and NVIDIA's where it's at. But the way they worded it made it sound like money might have changed hands. They said, we are confident that the best gaming experience for modern games is found with NVIDIA GPUs. And someone's right off camera with a gun. No. NVIDIA, they've got the lines, the bigger market share, so I guess it's not surprising. They're probably looking to simplify their options, but...
Right.
And then, okay... DICE has said that Battlefield Bad Company will return after a long hiatus. I think they said that just to make people shut up. But
I think it'll come out. It'll come out after Battlefront.
Yeah, well, I'm going to take a bite of pizza. You guys talk about when you think it might be coming out and why you're talking
Here's
about
what I'm thinking. So Medal of Honor got canned as the other year series because how EA wanted it is they wanted a new shooter every year, but they didn't want to give it the Call of Duty treatment where Battlefield has a new game every single year. They wanted to have at least 2 years between major releases for each franchise. So Medal of Honor was supposed to be the opposite year game, but did not turn out very well. So I wonder, could they pull off 2 Battlefields at the same time? One year's a main title, maybe in 1942 or a futuristic or whatever, and then Bad Company is the series that is on the next year.
Yeah.
But what's going to be the difference with Bad Company? Because let's be honest, Bad Company 2, it's not that crazy different from Battlefield 3.
No.
Yeah, but they could lean it back towards the more shenanigans and just over the top craziness versus the more authenticity
how
of the main
less
series.
crazy is it though than Battlefield 3 though?
It's true.
All your videos
I don't
is
know if
crazy.
they could pull it off. It would be a little bit too similar, possibly.
Well, Medal of Honor is very similar.
Yeah.
Medal of Honor was much closer to Call of Duty than Battlefield, I think.
In what way?
The multiplayer. Just more arena style versus large scale craziness. I mean, they had kill streaks and everything, so.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, but multiplayer was basically the only thing. So, but the main game played very much like Battlefield.
So Joel,
Yeah, I think next year we'll see Battlefront by next fall.
you think so? Well, it would make sense.
Yeah, I think if they come out either next fall to get everyone excited for Star Wars, or it could come out the year, in 2015. But I have a feeling we'll at least see it next year at E3 playable. And if it doesn't come out next fall, but I'm guessing it is because they're not doing another Medal of Honor. So
Yeah, you
I'm
figure
sure
they wanna
they're
have
farther
something coming
along
out.
with Star Wars than they're going to be with Bad Company 2.
I mean,
'Cause
EA doesn't
honestly
have any other
believe-
big shooter franchises, do they?
No.
Not that I know of.
Man, having Star Wars in the off year for Battlefield, my mind would just explode. I'd be playing so many DICE games.
But
it'd be
can you make
ridiculous.
Star Wars? You can't make that a every 2 years game, really, can you?
No.
No,
I mean, that
think
needs to
they're
be
gonna-
every generation game.
I think it's going to be Star Wars Battlefront, then Bad Company 3 if they do that, or probably Mirror's Edge, then Bad Company 3, and give 3 years for the next Battlefield.
Let me ask you guys, now that we're at the new generation of Frostbite, what's going to come next after Battlefield 4? Will it be Bad Company, or will it be 1942 or another futuristic Battlefield?
I feel like they're not going to do another Modern Times one immediately after.
Oh, please no. Like, Battlefield 4 is going to be the perfected version of Battlefield 3, but we don't need another one after that. For a long, long while.
I would hope they would go, let me think. Like, I really loved old Medal of Honor World War II stuff, and, used to be everything was World War II shooters until Modern Warfare came out. And now everything's modern or futuristic. So I wouldn't mind going back to World War II.
In Frostbite, that would be amazing. Like,
I would actually love to see a World War I game, a really good World War I game.
You're just crouched in a trench for like hours at a time, hiding from gas.
I love the weapons. I love the weapons back then. They were just like slow and one shots only. Just
not fun.
I can enjoy it. There was a World War I mod for Battlefield 2 that was pretty great.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Star Wars is going to be massively huge. And I think for them, they need to keep the Battlefield series going right now while it's going good. Because if they stop, Call of Duty is just going to take back over again, So
I don't think it is. Call of Duty, the pre-orders for Ghosts are actually way down. It could be because new consoles are coming out, or it could be because it's starting to run its course. I mean, every game franchise does.
Yeah, we'll see.
Remember 5 years ago when Guitar Hero was the biggest thing ever?
Yeah, that's true.
You can drive anything into the ground. Same parent company. So, Joel, tell us about what you've been working on this evening.
What I've been working on this evening? I got my new computer stuff. And can I segue this into my Half-Life 3 announcement and absolute crushing announcement?
Sure.
So this past week, the same day that the government shut down, someone found Half-Life 3 had gotten trademarked. And it looked really official. And then there was some bug report showing Half-Life 3 and all this kind of crap. It looked really legit. And I'm not afraid to say, I'm not ashamed, that I definitely got my PC parts a little bit quicker because of that. And then James had to text me just like 2 hours ago saying, you need to check IGN and everywhere. I was like, what? And they're like, yeah, Half-Life 3 pretty much was leaked. Like, it was just a hoax. So my soul is crushed.
Valve leaked it?
No. Sorry, not a leak. It was absolute hoax.
Absolute hoax.
So,
Dave, what are you holding up?
It got taken down. So
yeah, Joel, I hope you don't mind, but I'm just sitting here caressing your GTX 770. It gives me comfort.
Actually, reminds me. I'll be right back.
What's going into this? What's going into this computer? I guess Dave,
this monstrosity for one thing. Actually, this is a really great deal. It's Zotac, which is kind of an off-brand for NVIDIA, but I've had good luck with both Zotac and Galaxy NVIDIA cards. So this thing was like, like 24% cheaper than other 770s. It was a pretty sweet deal. And I'm about to lose it. Joel is taking it back.
Dave, get back on working my computer. I told you, work on my computer, slave.
Joel is easily amused.
I feel uncomfortable.
Well, you're not the one with Joel right behind you. I am the uncomfortable one.
What?
I like how he's threatening me with an airsoft gun when I've got a 9mm handgun on my hip. I don't think that's a smart decision.
He
Joel.
doesn't NSA. That's just a joke.
How to freedom? Yeah,
Dave, why don't you walk us through Joel's build? I don't know if I trust any of Joel's information.
All Joel did was drop it on the cart and swipe his credit card. I'm here to put it together and tell him it's all going to be okay.
Why is he upgrading, though? Joel, who famously loves consoles and thinks PCs are for whiny babies. Why does he want a new computer?
Tax write-off.
Oh, man, I need to be keeping track of all the stuff I bought for my computer this year. That's right.
Well, the best part is that all I purchase is from Newegg, so I just click orders 2012, 2013.
Hazard the Almighty said, quickly get the tissues for Joel, and I don't know what that's about.
I believe that's about Half-Life 3, and I believe that's sadness tissues. We're going to go with sadness tissues.
Yeah. Oh, I'm so sad.
Get that filth out of here.
It's been a few minutes since he posted that, but that was just some really terrible timing for me to read that. Yeah, Joel's last computer was originally built in, what was it, 2008, Joel?
Yeah. And
That's when I bought.
and
That's when I built
2008
my first one, and I've got like nothing
Yeah.
that's in my current
It was
computer.
with a Core 2 Duo originally.
Core 2
and we
Quad.
upgraded. Nope, Core 2 Duo. We gave him a Core 2 Quad 2 years ago just so we could mostly stay up to date. He bought a GTX 560 a few years ago that was just completely bottlenecked by the Core 2 Duo. So we gave him a Quad, which kind of opened up the bottleneck mostly, like maybe 70% or so. But the new build has it's an i7 quad core. I believe it's the
3770K. It's
Is that
i5
what it is?
3770K.
Yep. Really great CPU. I'm hoping to get it to 4 gigahertz easily.
Oh, dude, 4.5. I can write down my settings and give them to you.
Okay, sweet.
4.5. The way these ones work, I have a 3570K, so it's the same processor. Mine just has the hyper threading and like 2 other things cut out, but they're built the same way. And they will go to. Why are you smiling?
I was replying to Haza's comment. Keep going.
Oh. You can get them to 4.5 or 4.3 to 4.5 very easily, and then after that, it's very exponentially harder to overclock them.
Yeah.
So if you have a really good chip and water cooling, you can probably hit 5, but it's not like the 2500K, which you could get. I've gotten one to 5.2, I think.
Yeah.
It's not quite that good, but pretty much if you can't hit 4.5, you're doing something wrong, or you got a crappy motherboard or something. Because 4.5
Or just
is really
bad
easy.
chip. Yeah.
And there is a significant performance difference between 4 and 4.5. When I was overclocking, I went from 3.4 straight to 4, did a bunch of tests, then straight to 4.5. And it's a significant difference, so it's definitely worth it. And above 4.5, it really isn't.
Nice.
Most games just don't need that, believe it or not.
We're not
Except for
overclocking
Arma.
tonight. What was that, Joel?
except for Arma.
No, honestly, Arma can't. Arma's actually just too
Oh,
poorly
they won't allow
optimized.
it. They
Yeah,
actually
like-
want the game to be slow.
It could
to
use
be
it,
played at
but
24
it doesn't.
frames a second.
Yeah, Arma, for all of its CPU intensity, it really only uses like 60% of each core.
They really ought to use more, but
it's just-
unfortunately.
It's interesting now that the game is officially out. There's been a lot of CPU benchmarks have been released, like official ones, and my old 8350, my FX 8350, actually wouldn't have been a bad processor to stay with. It's actually pretty close. The difference being I couldn't. Now that's pretty close to a stock.
You wasted money.
No. That's close to a stock clock 3770K, but you overclock it. It'll overclock farther than the. All right, the 8350 can overclock to 5 gigahertz, but that's only a 1 gigahertz increase. The i7s and i5s can overclock more than that, a bigger gigahertz increase, and so they run away from it once they get overclocked. But actually, the game is much better optimized now. With my two 7950s, I'm able to run Arma 3 in a mission, in a multiplayer mission.
I didn't know you had 2 of them.
Yeah, I got a second one. Over 90 frames per second.
For what
tasty.
game?
Every Arma 3 with everything on ultra view distance all the way up.
Wow.
Yeah, I keep telling Joel, his last computer, like even right now with all the upgrades we added to it, is still running a Core 2 Quad, currently at stock speeds too. So it's 2.9 gigahertz, I think,
I
stock.
thought you overclocked it.
We did, but it kept blue screening, so.
Oh, good old Core 2 Quads. I had one too.
When summer hit, heat became an issue, and we just didn't want to deal with the overclock anymore, so he just stock clocked it. Yeah, but a Core 2 Quad and a 560 Ti, which is a nice card, but compared to his i5 and his 770 GTX, that's going to be nuts. It's going to blow his mind.
I'm hoping. Well, and you're going to try to play Battlefield 4 with us tonight with it, aren't you?
Yes.
You may get terrible performance, though. Segue into the Battlefield 4 beta, which came out this week. And
Ta-da.
big surprise, it doesn't work that well. There was a big...
It doesn't work that well for some people.
Well, I'm going to say for most people. Fanboy.
I'm running it on 2 computers at 60 FPS. I'm just saying.
Fine.
Because you're a god, Dave. You're a god.
It actually fears me.
It didn't support Crossfire at the beginning, so I just ran it on one card, and I was getting like 40 to 60, 70 frames per second. Like, it depended on what was going on, so that wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
They released Crossfire drivers. I installed them. Now, unfortunately, they're beta drivers, so the drivers themselves aren't that stable. But It actually doesn't run that well still. I'm now getting like 35 to 55. But I was more talking about Punkbuster, which despite being used in so many games, apparently Punkbuster is staffed by like two 15-year-olds.
Hey, they're in community college now.
No, I don't know anything about the Punkbuster team, to be fair, but Punkbuster does not work very well a lot of the time. I can't think of a single game I've ever played where there was multiplayer that used Punkbuster where Punkbuster was not an issue at some point.
It's true. It's totally true.
So Punkbuster broke the game Tuesday night. Like, I wasn't able to load the game anymore. So I played for like an hour or two on Tuesday. What?
A lot of people weren't able to. Actually,
yeah.
I didn't mean to interrupt totally, but you said you had to actually copy my files over to get your Punkbuster working?
Yeah.
You were the third person I did that for.
Yeah, I know it's a beta, but if I'm being honest, this isn't like they started over for this game, you know?
Hashtag honesty.
They didn't...
I'm close to you, Dave. I can bash you for that.
They didn't throw out all of BF3 and completely start over from scratch, you know? Like, I'm assuming they didn't. It should just run better than this.
I know. I'm thinking the same too. I'm like,
it's running just as poorly.
The engine. It's not a new engine. It's an updated engine.
It's running just as poorly as BF3 did when it was in beta. And as it is right now, Dave and I have gone back and forth on me actually buying this game. I'm thinking because it's going to show up in the AMD Never Settle bundle, and I've got 3 games I'm waiting to claim. I'm going to wait till it shows up in the bundle.
I got 2 in my video card. I got 2. I got Origins, Arkham Origins, and Splinter Cell. Yay!
Cool. Well, I'm getting 3.
I know it. Just
AMD Master Race.
But I wasn't going to buy it at launch. Dave peer pressured me into getting it. If they haven't released it in the bundle by October 27th, Dave was going to convince me to buy it. As it stands now, what date does it release?
Is it the 27th or no, 28th, I think?
It released sometime around there. I don't know. I'm not worried about preloading it. Preloading the beta took like 5 minutes. So,
took me an hour.
But think about when Battlefield 3 released and the first like 4 days were just misery. Like when you could get into a game. What?
What's funny though is we used a Korean VPN, all of us did, to unlock the game that Monday night. And that Monday night, the game was amazing. We played it for like 4 hours that Monday. But you're right.
That's true.
That as soon as it went like live around the world, everything just crashed and burned. But for those 4 hours, it was amazing.
So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to wait for the first couple days, because I figure it's not going to work that well anyway, so why subject myself to trying to jump in and wade through it? I'm just going to wait until it generally gets the okay clear. I'm guessing it's going to be like 4 or 5 days, and then I'm going to get it.
Well, plus you'll have me and Yakko telling you how awesome it is if it works.
If it works, right. If it works great from the very beginning, I'll hop in. But so our Pato 92 has a Radeon 7950, and he's getting 60 FPS on Ultra in the beta. I'm thinking I'm going to just disable Crossfire for tonight. This just isn't worth it. I'm enjoying Crossfire in most things. Although Battlefield 3 today, I must have hit the worst server in the world. It was in Denmark.
Do you have to manually switch off your Crossfire during games?
Well, no. Like because Battlefield 4, there aren't any real Crossfire drivers yet. I'm getting worse performance because it's trying to split it up between the two. So I just disable Crossfire.
It's a beta issue, is all it is.
Yeah. It's not a big deal. I mean, this is the only game I've had issues with it. But in Battlefield 3 today, I don't know what was wrong with this server. I was trying to record footage for my last Battlefield 3 video, but all the servers are empty right now because everyone's playing Battlefield 4. Well, I mean, I was looking for a match on Albor's Mountains. There was literally no North American server with anyone in it in any game mode.
Nice.
So I was playing on a European server, and my FPS with Crossfire was 40 FPS.
Oh.
Yeah. Like, I don't know what was wrong with this server, but it was bad.
They were definitely uploading lots of viruses to the computer.
But
so many viruses.
So for tonight, I'm probably just going to disable Crossfire. I mean, I'm sure it's going to get sorted out by the time it releases. And if it doesn't, maybe I'll just sell my 7950s and get an R290X, or I don't know, go to a single card or something.
Yeah, I'm not going to act like there aren't a lot of people who are having issues, because a lot of people definitely are. Just look at the forums and the even YouTube channels, and everyone's having issues that's just talking about it. At the same time, though, once you do get the game running, I think this is one of the most stable betas I've ever been a part of. As far as like once you get in the game.
Yeah, once you get in the game, yeah, I didn't have any. There's only one crash I've had on a consistent basis, and that's if you try to respawn on somebody. Sometimes it just won't let you. Like you'll click on their names and stuff. Like it doesn't matter who, it won't let you respawn. Period.
Oh yeah, I got that one once.
I've gotten that a couple times, but that was mostly Tuesday night when everything was starting to go down. So I don't know if it's still doing that or not. But as far as in-game performance, I've noticed like the particle effects aren't quite dialed in yet. I blew up a car and it shot sparks like 80 feet out at light speed.
That's actually that's how it is.
It's a feature.
That's how Chinese cars work.
So what
It's
do
all
you
the
guys
lead paint flying out.
What do you guys think about the beta so far?
My computer can't run it, so I don't think anything.
Poor Joel played
It
for like 10
sounded awesome.
minutes.
It sounded really awesome.
Speaking
if
of
I
which,
closed my
are
eyes
you
and I
like
pretended it was 60 FPS? It
Wait.
sounded awesome.
I have a quick question. Joel's going to be playing Battlefield 4 with us, but you were just holding his video card. So is that computer not actually ready?
No, it's not yet. We just have the video card left.
And
It's the video card and the power for the hard drive.
and seeing if Windows works.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it'll work.
And then I have to drive home to play.
So yeah, you can't just play it on the MacBook? For the price of that MacBook, you could have bought a computer that would play it. For the price of this iPhone 5 charging cable, I could have bought quite a few things, and this isn't even
I do
the official
more than
Apple
just game for my my work.
I'm holding up an Amazon Basics iPhone 5 charging cable, so like the generic Amazon one, and it was like $14 for a glorified USB cable.
Thanks.
Have you gotten your iPhone yet?
It's on the way.
Okay.
The beta.
Forgot what I was talking about.
Impressions.
Save me, Joel.
I want to
Save me,
hear
Dave.
I want to
Save
hear your
me.
impressions, Jeremiah.
Okay. First
We already know
impressions.
you hate it, so just continue.
No, I don't hate it. I mean, when it's not loading, that's kind of frustrating. But when it loaded, the guns feel really tight.
Tight.
Yeah, Joe. There's a lot less recoil, it feels like, or at least in the guns they're giving us in the beta. Let me see. Yeah, the guns feel really good. The map
water.
design. What?
But the water.
I mean, the water, like, it's got waves. Yippee. But I mean,
But the water.
it's got waves. I mean, we'll see what
We're
happens.
in the future.
Not really. You can't swim underneath it.
Yeah, you can. Control with the dive key.
Controls the okay, well, I didn't figure that out. Okay, you can. Never mind. Ignore me. But
You can also knife fight and pistol fight in the water, too.
you can knife fight in the
stupid
water.
water.
That's a lame fight. Reach.
Swim up
Two
behind
people
them
treading
underwater.
water like 5 feet away from each other awkwardly, just like.
Basically.
But the map design, I think, is pretty good. There's a noticeable lack of blue everywhere,
Yeah.
which is nice.
Plenty of gray, though.
Plenty of gray. Yeah, actually, when I first joined, the first server I joined, it was right when the tower had fallen. And apparently when the tower falls,
Yeah.
it coats the whole map in dust. Well, I didn't know that. It was my first match. So I hopped in and I was like, wow, this looks really crappy everywhere. Like everything was just matte and no reflections, like all boring. And then loaded into a new game.
Yeah.
There's like pretty reflections and stuff everywhere. I was like, oh, okay. So the lighting model is really good. They've definitely upped the sideways flares. The J.J. Abrams flare is making a bigger appearance in this game.
They had more flares?
Oh, it's not
Different
like the
kinds of
giant.
flares.
It's not the big blinding sun flare. Now it's the Star Trek flares, where like it'll just catch you off to the
Oh,
side,
okay.
make the
And no
thing-
more camera bokeh and like dirt all over your face either, which is nice.
Well, not in the beta, at least. We'll see.
Yeah, that's true. It was a per map thing.
It'll be DLC.
There's particles floating through the air everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's what Ultra gives you. Is just massive particles everywhere.
Yeah.
Tons of
It's really
blue-
cool though. It actually affects the helicopters a lot because it makes the choppers, like if you're flying around, it's really hard to spot people like on the ground once the tower comes down because the air is just so thick.
It looks really nice. I'm curious what they're going to do on maps where there isn't like a giant building falling down. Like I'd be curious to see what's that one map with the dam where you can tear the dam down and the town floods. Like if there was a spray floating through the air or something, that'd be really cool. Like saltwater spray stinging your eyes. I realize that's probably hoping for a bit too much, but I mean, if the particle effects are cool, that could be really cool or really kind of the same lame thing put on every map. I guess we'll see.
Well, if Paracel Storm has taught us one thing, it's that weather is now a thing. So maybe more weather effects.
Yeah, it's a thing. I guess we'll see how many maps is it a thing. I'm guessing it's not on Siege of Shanghai. Or this is what the map's called, right? Siege of Shanghai?
Yes, that's correct.
I was really impressed by like how varied Siege of Shanghai is. Like there's the underground mall, there's the outdoor areas, there's the top of that building. Like it feels like you are not going to be like, it feels like 64 players is going to definitely have plenty of room to run around.
Oh yeah, it feels good.
Yeah, it feels really good. I was really impressed by that.
It reminds me as if they took a couple of pieces of close quarters maps and just stuck them right into a classic Battlefield map. And there's added a ton of vertical space with all the skyscrapers and rooftops. Because one thing that impressed me was, sure, you had the main skyscraper with like the upper stories and all, where you can fight in the kind of like the nice plaza up there, but they actually didn't block off all the other rooftops, which right now is kind of a problem because of all the camping. But I think it's cool that you have the option to basically go on any building you want to inside of the battle area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll see if they block that out. I wouldn't be surprised if they did. Well, no, I mean, you can do that on a lot of other maps. You can land on a building. You just have to parachute.
Yeah, just using that skyscrapers. It's pretty sweet.
I think the vehicles are overpowered right now because no one has perks. I was in one map where I was basically stuck by a tank that just killed me over and over and over. And like the whole team was stuck in one area, and one tank was killing everybody because no one was able to take the tank out. I don't know if they need to rebalance RPGs or anything, but that is one thing I don't understand. Like, wouldn't they, something like an RPG, wouldn't they just start with the default values from Battlefield 3 and work from there, you'd think?
Well, the vehicle damage system is completely different. It's no longer the default health point disabling. It's now based a lot more on where you hit the vehicle. Like, you can disable the engine on a tank with a direct hit to the engine if it's at full health right now.
Really? Because I was shooting the treads, and that didn't seem to be making a difference.
The treads are half armored, though. Only the bottom part of the treads exposed on the tanks.
Well, I'll experiment more tonight when we're playing.
Top and rear is where you want to get the tanks.
All right.
It works better if you're shooting on a console.
No, it doesn't. Nothing does. Sorry, you're wrong.
You're wrong and you should feel bad.
You should. You should. But yeah, I mean, it's fun. I don't know what else to say. I mean, it's pretty fun when it works.
I've been jokingly calling it the Battlefield 4 Everything is Better Edition. Or sorry, the Battlefield 3 Everything is Better Edition. It's not revolutionary, it's evolutionary.
I think it's Windows 98.
It's levolutionary.
Get out. Podcast over. Friendship over.
We're friends? Oh.
Yeah, I thought we were just all your podcast slaves.
I'm not paying you anything.
We're also not editing the podcast.
We know.
I'm paying you a cut of what I make off of it.
14 cents.
It took me a second to process that.
Actually, Dave, you probably make more off the podcast than I do. You get more views on your channel.
I can talk about that.
Oh yeah, I like the GoPro camera. I don't think it's officially a GoPro camera, but like when you're ready to
Everyone's
spawn in,
calling it the GoPro.
you can see what someone else is seeing, which is nice because then you can see if you're about to spawn in the middle of death and you can skip it. I like the respawn screen in general is just a lot less frustrating. I don't really like
click on things.
The HUD is a little aggravating because it looks like they're trying to make it look dynamic, like it's floating in front of your face or something. I don't know. Like the HUD it could be simpler. Like
I discovered you can scale the HUD now in the options.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. But I don't know. The HUD's a little bit annoying right now just because like they're trying to make it like shake back and forth and look all crazy. And I would rather just have the information easily accessible.
I hadn't even noticed that actually. It actually moves.
I don't think I'm crazy. I'm pretty sure like it changes with perspective. It's not like flying all over the place.
So kind of like Crysis a little bit. Then.
A little bit. I thought I was noticing that.
Huh? I hadn't even noticed.
Or it could be it could be a graphical bug for all I know.
Driver issue, like your UI is like vibrating.
Yeah, I mean for all I know it's that, so who knows.
Instant migraine. As far as the GoPro cameras go, I actually love the ability, like as you're dying, to watch your squad mates. I was playing with Yakko a few nights ago, and I got killed trying to catch up to him, And I watched during my 8-second respawn time, which is kind of long for a respawn in Battlefield. I watched him like go up in an elevator, and he like peeked out. And there's a whole squad of 3 guys up there. And I just started like cheering him, like, "Go Edgar! Start at the left, just work your way right." And he was like killing the guys. I was just watching on his like little helmet cam the whole time. He wiped the whole squad. It was pretty cool, like to be able to see what your squad's actually doing.
And voice chat. Have we used voice chat yet?
Okay, I got a funny story about voice chat.
Already? Oh yeah, you told me, but tell the listeners.
Yes, indeed. The default key for in-game voice chat is left alt, which is actually my favorite push to talk key. I use it for Teamspeak. I didn't realize that was what it was in game, so I was talking to Yakko early that morning on Tuesday before I went to work. He was playing something. I just like hopped in, and I was telling him about a knife kill I just got in like my first 10 minutes of the game. I got a couple knife kills. I didn't realize the whole time I was telling Yakko about it, I'm in some guy's tank. He was just like cruising like away towards the objective. And I'm talking to this guy the whole time about my knife kill. And after I get done talking to Yakko, it gets quiet for a few seconds. And the guy thinks like, "Yeah, I got a couple knife kills too. Like, it's a pretty cool system." He starts like talking about knife kills. I'm like, "Oh, this is awkward." I made a new battle friend. I have seen people use the voice, not a whole lot, but definitely people are using it, and which is it's pretty coul to see that again.
Hey Dave, tell us about another new feature that people are using, much to your detriment. You know,
guys, let me tell you about phallic symbols and Nazis. So I think it was Wednesday night they put emblems live, and this is a really cool idea where, by default, all the vehicles and weapons have like a country flag, an origin flag on them, like American, Chinese, whatever. You have the ability to go into battle log and create your own emblem using the emblem editor. And of course, I had like a jet on mine. It was pretty cool. But it took about 10 seconds for the Nazi Chinese soldiers to show up, as well as the phallic symbols and all. And I was actually recording some 60 FPS gameplay last night for some cinematic stuff.
Hey, what's a phallic guy? Is that kind of like what the Romans did? Like they like clustered together with the spears? That's what it is, right?
Well, it involves spears.
Ask your mom, Joel. She knows.
Oh, yes, very nice.
I led you into that one, so I get props for that, actually.
Well, I let your mom do a phallic symbol last night. All right, we're done.
I forgot what I was saying. Oh yeah, the cinematic footage. I got this really awesome shot of this one chopper, and I might just put it into a video just by itself. This like transport chopper full of guys using miniguns to like clear a whole rooftop. And I had Joel's Xbox controller, and I was like doing the cinematic camera where the camera was like up behind the chopper and it's like sweeping by in slow motion with the miniguns blazing. And while reviewing the footage today, I was like, wait, I backed the footage up and looked closely at the tail rotor of the chopper. Just giant penis on the chopper. Like giant, like actually spelled out too, like across the back. I'm like, well, there goes that dramatic footage. But EA is handing out bans already for that.
The man hammer swingeth.
I think how it works, don't quote me on this, this is just hearsay. You get an email warning and your emblem is cleared off and blanked.
The first offense. Warning.
Well, and they also just wipe your symbol, like your symbol's gone, deleted. And then the second time...
How are they going to find that?
There's a report option in game.
Oh, so if someone reports you. Okay.
And they do have moderators active right now looking for it too. So, second offense is like you get banned for like 24 hours. And after that, I imagine they can suspend your account if you just keep being 14 years old.
Now, I'm guessing it's totally cool to make like weed leaves and 420 symbols and everything? Or is
no,
that banned too?
actually.
No. Oh, man.
No, nothing that can be deemed as illegal or offensive. They want...
there goes the smoke weed every day clan.
420, 360.
420, blaze it.
Why do they stop that stuff? I'm just curious. Why does
liability, I would imagine.
Yeah. Because despite the fact that it's an M-rated game that explicitly says for people 17 and older.
but my question is, even if that, then shouldn't they stop you from swearing to the voice chat?
Some servers
there's a
do.
difference between offensive language and there's a difference between bad words and verbally attacking people. And there's a difference between bad words and promoting illegal mind-altering substances and bragging about one's anatomy. So,
but I mean, but what's the difference between if I made a weed logo and says like I heart weed. And I kept talking about weed and saying, oh man, dude, weed. Like, what is the difference between...
The difference is they say they don't want you to do one or the other, and it's their game. That's really the difference. It's America.
And you agree,
You can play a violent war simulator where you kill hundreds of people an hour, but if you draw the cartoon shape of genitalia on something, you are offensive and must be kicked. Because that's how America works. Actually, segue, this is something that really bugs me in America.
I hope this is not segueing to more genitalia.
A little bit.
Okay.
Just the tip. This is
use of
really
just-
My
This
mom
is-
is going to stop listening to this podcast.
Your mom would never listen to this. She has taste.
What is happening tonight?
So anyway, Sons of Anarchy is a really awesome show about a group of misfit, lovable outlaw bikers and their shenanigans. No, they're on not basic cable. They're on FX. So not HBO, not premium cable where you can do whatever you want, but cable, MA cable. And they've always pushed the boundaries a bit. But they did something interesting. This is spoilers for the season 6 premiere. Spoilers for Sons of Anarchy season 6. If you have not
I haven't
watched,
started it yet.
this isn't going to spoil anything that just for anyone who is following the story closely, they'll care. But, so in this episode, the premiere episode, it was the first time on regular cable television where there has been an exposed female torso on screen, on regular cable. That's never happened before, except for the Super Bowl a bunch of years ago.
Society is crumbling.
The creator of the show did that on purpose because later in that episode, there's a school shooting. And he did that because predictably, people started complaining within about an hour. The parent watchdog groups and stuff were complaining about this show of nudity on this M-rated or MA-rated TV show that airs late at night, complaining about that. And he was like, guys, there was a school shooting. Are you serious? Are you serious right now?
Wow.
And so I thought that was very interesting because America, they're just weird. America's weird about stuff like that. Like, you can't see a butt, but you can cut someone's head off. If I was
You're only allowed 2 spurts of blood. Only 2.
if I was going to pick which things I'd want my children to see, I'd rather have them not be not desensitized to horrible violence than worry about them seeing a butt or something. I mean, but in America, it doesn't feel like that. We're like, oh,
Take all mirrors away from your kids, guys.
not the sex. Get them Righteous Slaughter 5.
Righteous Slaughter. It's awesome.
I know. That's a little soapbox of mine. It just doesn't make any sense. But that's why in the game. Yeah. So murdering people, hearing them yell obscenities constantly, hearing people yell obscenities at you now that we have voice chat. That is all totally fine. You put a weed leaf on your little emblem and you are out.
I'm going to have to erase my emblem then.
So, all right, as we're winding down the podcast so we can go play Battlefield 4.
I have a comment of the day.
Oh, okay.
What?
20 episodes
What?
after the last one. Sure, let's just bring it back.
It never stopped. What are you
25
talking
is a
about?
milestone, so...
All right, I have a comment of the day. It just actually came in 1 hour ago. I couldn't resist. This is a comment on the video, the worst rage I've ever seen in Battlefield 3, from rage to creeper/stalker. That's where I was flying a jet as usual, and some guy just started battle log stalking me and Googling my Facebook to get my first name and was using all kinds of fun slurs against me. It was actually kind of funny. He was really, really mad. But the video is basically just me flying around, continuing to have fun in the game, while he spends his time Googling me and cussing me out in chat. It's a pretty funny video, but someone just posted this comment where he obviously went all detective on the video and actually discovered that apparently I'm hacking in my jet in this video, and this is how he actually figured this out. I'll quote the comment here. He is hacking. You can't look out the side of YR window in YR jet. I tried. Only get third person, and first person only can look out YR windshield. So, apparently, if I'm translating this right, by looking left out of my windshield, I am obviously hacking.
That was the first feature they wanted to enable. They were like, guys, this is going to give you the edge. You can turn your head.
360 head motion. It's so cool. I can see everything.
To whoever that was, one, you could have just used Google before you wrote your comment. Two, Alt. Hold the Alt key. It's the Alt key, right?
Yeah, and then the
no,
then
it's
the
left
4
control.
Key.
Whatever.
It's the Alt key and then
I
the
don't
4
care.
key.
So before we
Also,
go,
punctuation is your friend. There's no punctuation in that entire comment.
before we
And
go,
or a language.
this week, we're going to do a part of the podcast we like to call 90 Seconds with Joel. A part of the podcast where Joel talks about anything he wants for 90 seconds. And we had to agree to it. So, anyway.
You agreed to it quite a long time ago, so
Yeah.
because I can always pull out. Shut up! Stop being 14, Dave.
There's got to be a better way to say that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, there is.
No, I was going to talk about the movie Gravity.
No,
I'm
I
not
haven't
saying any
seen it
spoiler.
yet. I haven't
I'm not
seen
saying
it.
any spoilers at
Okay.
all. Not any spoiler at all. But you must see it in 3D. Have to. I saw it just in regular 3D at our local theater. It was a pretty big room. But next week I think we're gonna go down to Charlottesville and see it in IMAX. It was the best way I could describe it is, and this is from an article I read too, and I like totally agree with it. It was like if Avatar was shown off back in like 1940, like. It's so mind-blowing. I've never seen anything. Like, Avatar really is the closest I've ever seen to, like, maybe graphics that just look that real. Mm-hmm. But this one, there's not one scene. I mean, I'm a filmmaker, and I look at this stuff all the time. I can't help but look at the cuts and edits. Not one scene, not one tiny bit of the movie, I was like, that's CGI. Nope, that's real. Man. Like, it looks incredibly real. Every little scene. And the whole time you go, how did they do that? How did they do that? How did they do this? Because the whole film, they're in space, so there's absolutely no gravity. They're not like standing; they're always floating, and you can't see like how are they rigged? Are they standing on something? Are they held up? It's so mind blowing, and the best part is the trailers has more sound effects like explosions and stuff.
Right.
In the movie, there's no sounds. The only sounds you hear is like when you have headphones on and you tap it. When you tap your headphones in your ear, it has like the boom, boom, that's all you hear. And it is terrifying. It is like, it's Castaway and Jaws in space. Like,
yeah, I mean, the last movie I saw from that
must-see.
director was Children of Men, and I thought that was one of the most visually impressive movies I've ever seen. Not
Yeah,
because of
dude.
not because of the giant effects or anything.
yeah,
but
just
just
the way
like
he shot it, like the
the
long
way it was
shot.
shot, it's so visceral. It's such a visceral.
Now I'm
movie.
excited.
Yeah,
Dave, have you not seen Children of Men?
No, I have. I didn't realize that was the same
okay.
director.
It's the same guy, yeah.
I'm going to see that.
He also did Prisoner of Azkaban, which is the third Harry Potter.
He did?
movie. Yeah, he did.
Huh.
That's why if you watch the third one, it has just such a more grown up cinematic feel to it when you watch it.
Well, the third one was the first one that I didn't hate. The first two were boring.
I gave Dave. We have all the movies. We gave Dave the first two, so I said we'll watch with you once you get to the third one. So
Oh, dang it. It's so
Yeah,
far.
they're like kids' movies. They were designed for people to start watching around age 11, and then you grow up as the movies do.
It gets pretty credible. But anyways, urge you to go see Gravity. You will be just so mind blown. You'll feel like a kid again seeing like I don't know, like I'd say like seeing Star Wars for the first time. Like it's just so beyond like anything you could imagine seeing in a film. It was
Is the movie itself good, ignoring the effects?
Oh yeah. Oh, very very good.
Okay.
The subtext of the film is really really good.
Cool.
Like, it's really cool. So, but the first opening scene, 13 minutes long.
Cool. Like the first
Not one
shot?
cut.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, the very first shot, 13 minutes long. When it starts, it just opens on a vista of Earth, and it literally sits there in silence for I think a minute and 45 seconds, and it just shows the Earth spinning, and it's just like, holy crap, this is gonna be good. It's amazing. Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, with that, we're going to shut the podcast down so we can go play Battlefield
Build my PC.
and finish building Joel's PC. So I guess I'm going to start playing Battlefield. You guys will just join me whenever you can.
Yes. Forever alone.
So yeah, you can follow right into the podcast at Casual Shenanigans or casualshenanigans@gmail.com. Tweet at us at Casual Shenaniga. Tweet at me at Germ Gaming, at Evil Viking. Following us on YouTube and stuff. Evil Viking 13, Germ Gaming, Boundless MP. Anything else to say before we go?
Nope.
All right, guys.
Time to build us a PC.
All right, well, stay casual.
I'm just gonna stop complaining at this point.
Yep, it's a thing.
It's happening.
See you guys.
Bye.
See you guys.